Back at home, feeling misunderstood. In between these ears ain't
Yeah,
nothing
this is taking
good.
away from the game, which is the last thing it should be doing too.
Yeah. So you want to get into factor cap because
We got another one. So we got a baseball one. We're coming out with new ones every week, and since I'm keeping with the baseball theme, I thought this was really intriguing because Jimmy and I at the Futures game, at the Futures game, we saw an Astros guy sitting next to a Pete Rose jersey. So it caught my mind. Well, maybe there's some Pete Rose scandals out there. Well,
two most hated guys at the All-Star game, by the way.
no kidding. Pretty funny. They're sitting next to each other. But the name popped in my head. Well, Pete Rose has a pretty big conspiracy too. People think about. So the commissioner that was that originally suspended Pete Rose for life. The conspiracy is that there was an agreement that Pete Rose was going to get reinstated. Interesting. But what happened was, let me pull it up. Pete Rose didn't fight the banishment from baseball because he had an agreement that he would be reinstated eventually. And one of the biggest sorry, as I'm pulling it up, it's such an interesting one because of Pete Rose and the betting world we live in. Betting is such a big part of sports right now. So the reasoning behind it is Bart Giamatti was the commissioner who suspended Pete Rose for life. And apparently, 8 days before the hearing for Pete Rose to get reinstated again, that commissioner passed away. Interesting. So after the new commissioner came in, that they said they just let it go, and now Pete Rose is in a situation where he's banned for life. This is an interesting one because look, like I said, the sports betting world is taking off, and you can bet on your phone, you can bet on arenas. Their sports teams are getting sponsored by betting apps. It doesn't matter. College athletes get sponsored by betting apps. Kind of funny. Like it has gone so far. But betting on your own sports, obviously, Pete Rose is still banned for life. I would argue and say that there's a good chance he may get reinstated at one point because the guy should be a Hall of Famer because of everything he did. Even though he did something really, really bad, he should be a Hall of Famer. But I am going to go with fact on this one. I think that there is actually a good chance that he might have been reinstated. The facts that the commissioner passed away right before the hearing and everything of him being reinstated is really fishy to me. I mean, obviously they probably didn't kill him because he I know, weird to say, mafia. We talked about mafia last week, but the guy died of old age.
Giamatti last name also is a total red flag for mafia.
Yeah, red flag for that. But I mean, I think that there was something in place because Pete Rose barely fighting that is very, very interesting to me. And the fact that he was so adamant on not necessarily is waiting till the hearing and waiting till it gets there makes me think that this could be very true. So I'm gonna go with fact on this one.
I'm going cap mainly because thinking about the timeline around baseball right now, it's about to get desolate, and they're also about to have to deal with the whole steroid scandal. I think, given that knowledge and the fact that Pete Rose, like, he probably wasn't the first pro athlete to have a gambling addiction. Obviously, Michael Jordan had a very, very big gambling addiction. It's well known. You can't bet on games that you play in. Whether I believe the stories that I've heard is that Pete Rose always bet on the Reds to win, so he always had to still play as hard as he could because that was what his money was on, was his team winning. You can't fucking do that. You can't bet on the game that you're involved in. Bet on your buddy's game that you played with, but don't bet on the game that you're going to show up and you actually have to do something for because it never looks good.
Oh, I'm not arguing that he should be because but he 100%. That is one of the lowest things you can do. That ties in right to the Tim Donaghy thing with the NBA when he was rigging games. He should never be able to referee a game again. I completely understand that, but I also understand that sports betting was so raw. You know what I mean? Sports betting is not
That
what
was
it was.
illegal.
What it was.
It was
It
illegal.
was very illegal. Don't get me wrong, but it is not what it is today. And that was I think maybe the White Sox scandal, which we may get to in another factor cap
Yeah,
segment
that was
down the road.
1919, so
Yes,
almost
so that's
100
something we
years.
100 years ago. We may talk about that in a few weeks here or something down the line. But that was one of the biggest at the time sporting scandals, betting things, because sports betting has been around ever since you could race horses. It
Yeah.
has been around forever. It just hasn't been as big of a stage as it is now. And I do see that maybe the commissioner at the time might have had something to do with it back rows. Because like I said, Pete Rose has some dough. He could try to push the envelope a little bit. So
Grease the
I'm gonna go
palms,
fact.
grease the
Yeah.
palms. Uh, I'm going cap, and I don't know. I think maybe they told him that he was going to get reinstated just so that he would stay quiet, so that they wouldn't have
That's
to
true.
deal with the whole media storm. But you know, died under
That's true.
mysterious circum. Listen, Giamatti ended up with cement shoes one weekend. What can I say? It was tragic. He died. That's all I can say.
Jordan, the mob, and now Pete Rose betting. We are coming after everybody. Yeah,
We
you're
got a
not.
target on our backs.
We got a target on our backs.
Yeah, be sure to vote at FEOTB Pod. Is this factor cap? Because we've been enjoying those. I think Nico's won both, so I'm not doing so well. But hey, that's been factor cap. So now we can get into beats of the week.